Hey guys, welcome back to Diecast Reviews. So I was a review on Rowdy Revvin Busch, who is the Next Gen racer that is supposed to emulate Kyle Busch, the real-life NASCAR racer. Obviously, this was released back in 2022, and Mattel had the NASCAR partnership going on, and they released quite a few NASCAR-related diecast, or I guess diecast inspired by NASCAR drivers is a better way to put it. Rowdy Revvin Busch was one of the last ones to do it, but probably one of the coolest ones that they did. Obviously sponsored by HTB number 18, and Rowdy obviously is Kyle Busch's nickname. On the back, you got some of the other ones that they did. Jackson Storm, Eric Almirola, Gogo Logano, right inside Lane, Bubba Wheelhouse, Danny Suarez, Lane McQueen, obviously Danny Suarez, Bubba, and Ryan here all had kind of updated numbers because their drivers changed numbers from 2017 when the movie was released, 2021, 2022 when this line was out. And Gogo Logano and Eric Almirola here were new sponsors, or not new sponsors, but Cars 1 sponsors that didn't reappear in Cars 3. Some McQueen and Jackson there. In 2020-21 Mattel. So, there's kind of an interesting story about Rowdy Revvin Busch here. So, Mattel made it a point to release some of the sponsors that were cut, or actually all the sponsors that were cut from Cars 1 to Cars 3. I think there's about 5 of them that were cut. Replaced by new sponsors. Obviously, Fiber Fuel and Retread were some of them here. And they released Gogo Logano and Eric Almirola to kind of, fill in the gaps there. William Byrev, Shifty Drug was another one. And when it came down to it, after they released all of them, Taco Mint was the only one left, right? So it was Taco Mint and Retread, I believe, were the last two to be released. And it was announced that we were getting an Eric Almirola release and a Kyle Busch release. So it made sense. Kyle Busch has been, for the longest part of his career, has been sponsored by Mars, the Mars company, which obviously makes M&Ms and Skittles and whatnot. So he's been synonymous with driving candy-sponsored cars, right? So it only made sense they would release Kyle Busch as the Taco Mint racer because it just made sense. It lined up logically with what he's known for as driving the candy cars. So it made sense that they would release him as a Taco Mint racer. And obviously, so that meant Eric Almirola was Retread. So we got that part right. We got Eric Almirola as the Retread racer. But an odd choice here. They didn't go with Taco Mint. They never did release a Taco Mint Next Gen, which is really unfortunate because that would have been such a cool Next Gen. They made Kyle Busch the HTB race driver, the Chick Hicks sponsor from Cars 1. And it's interesting because DI, which was, I guess, kind of the sponsor for Dale Earnhardt in Cars 1, actually that's kind of a car or a voice actor-specific sponsor, so they didn't release it. That was a character-themed sponsor. They weren't going to move on to and sponsor a different Next Gen with it, so they didn't. HTB is also a character-themed sponsor. It's really made for Chick Hicks. Even the kind of name of HTB, Hostile Takeover Bank, it is made. It's a perfect match for Chick Hicks. It is made for Chick Hicks. But they go and put it on Rowdy Revvin Busch, which is really interesting because a Chick Hicks Next Gen is indeed very cool. But it's also very cool that they made Kyle Busch the Chick Hicks kind of Next Gen and neglected Taco Mint entirely, which is really unfortunate. It's like I said, a Taco Mint Next Gen, I think that'd just be fantastic. But they neglected it and went with HTB, which really, it's interesting because Kyle Busch, he's been known as the candy driver, but he's also been known as kind of the bad guy in NASCAR. He's been known as a villain, especially in this era, around 2018 to about 2022. I would say he was known as the bad guy of NASCAR. You either liked him or you hated him. There was no in between. So in that regard, it does make sense that he be sponsored by HTB, which obviously is the sponsor for the antagonist in Cars 1. He's kind of the antagonist of NASCAR. So in that regard, it makes sense. It's interesting that Mattel went that route and they went for the villain route for Kyle Busch and now for the candy route. So that's pretty cool. That's an interesting story. I think an interesting backstory to how we got Kyle Busch as the HTB sponsored car. But enough rambling. Let's get Kyle Busch and his kind of pit sign there out of the package. So here we have Rowdy Revvin Busch out of the package, and he looks great. I always love unboxing new Next Gens. Haven't gotten to do that, obviously, in quite some time, but really do love it. Here we have his pit sign, which I want to say back in 2016, right before Cars 3 came out, which one of the best eras for cars collecting, in my opinion, if not the best, right before Cars 3 came out. But 2016, I want to say Mattel released kind of sideline of cars with pit signs or some kind of accessory. They released a bunch of cars on Piston Cup racers. I think there weren't really many notable releases, but I think a few of them, Trunk Fresh and Sidewall Shine, were definitely some of the more noticeable releases there in that line. But they released them with these kind of pit barriers, and I think they were Amazon exclusives. I think they popped up at Meyer. It was an interesting kind of line that didn't last very long, but it was pretty cool. And that's kind of where this whole pit sign thing started from. I think that was kind of the first time we got introduced to these pit signs, pit barriers, and they've kind of used them in packs here and there ever since. So, pretty cool. But obviously, HTB number 18. Yeah, pretty cool. Like the HTB, this logo here is very kind of was copy paste from what Chick Hicks has. I think it's a bit different on Rowdy Revvin Busch, although maybe not. Maybe they didn't change it up too much, but there you go. And obviously, there's nothing on the back, and they're hollow inside, so they're very cheaply made, but they look nice. Anyways, but here is the main character of the show, Rowdy Revvin Busch. Look at that. Look at that expression. Very, very menacing there. Very determined, upset. I'm not sure, but it does look pretty cool. Obviously, HTB there on the front with the kind of 3 balloons. I'm not really sure what the balloons are meant to symbolize, but they're obviously more kind of cartoony. Here on Rowdy, as we can see on Chick Hicks, they were kind of 3D objects. Here they're just kind of 2D cartoony stuff. Also, you can see on the hood right behind HTV, he's got a slew of sponsors, of contingency sponsors, much like Chick Hicks had stickers all over him. Rowdy also continues that tradition with having a bunch of contingency sponsors in the background. Those set of stickers are just kind of in there in the background. Go to the side here. He's got number 18, obviously Kyle Busch's number, all the way up till 2022 and 2023. He obviously switched to the number 8 for a different team. So this is also kind of outdated at this point. But when this was released, no one really thought he was going to leave the 18 car. But regardless, there you got kind of the main contingency sponsors, Piston Cup, Combustion, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy. And then you don't really have many contingency sponsors right there. But as you go to the back here where it says HTB, he's got a lot more contingency sponsors. Some of them are kind of hard to read, but you've got, see, what do you have back there? Toe cap I can see. I think I saw a combustor or something earlier there. Well, not there. I think I saw it back here too. But also got the HTB kind of text there. I feel like the rims are pretty unique for a Next Gen. We don't really get kind of open spoked rims like that. And as we move to the back here, obviously he's got his rookie stripes, as all Next Gens do. He's got HTB, obviously 18 taillights and a bunch of other contingency sponsors there in the background. And some of these are really hard to read. It's just the lighting, but can't get to read a lot of them. I think I saw little turkey pistons in there. This side, I believe, is the same as the other one. I've seen more contingency sponsors plastered all in the background there. I do like the kind of yellow kind of stripe he's got going on around the bottom there. On the roof, obviously, you got 18. You've got like a little kind of stripe that goes down the roof and down the back there. Full of contingency sponsors. Really cool. You've got gaskets there. You can see that one. I think vinyl toupe there as well. And then on the spoiler here, HTV and more contingency sponsors. And obviously the balloons on the side there as well are pretty cool. I really don't know what the balloons stand for. Never really understood that, but they do look pretty cool. Here is the base, obviously made in Vietnam. But there you go. And obviously you've got the kind of window that looks pretty cool as well. But I do want to compare him to Chick Hicks here. Chick Hicks, I will say, did have some pretty cool contingency sponsors. They're not like normal kind of Piston Cup sponsors, just like randomly stuffed in there, like right here off the bat. Tum, or Yum, whatever that one, like the candy bar there, and then the kind of flaming logo right next to it. Pretty cool because, I don't know, I think they're kind of like maybe scrapped sponsors. I think what I've heard is that they're just kind of like scrapped sponsors. They were supposed to be Piston Cup sponsors, they got scrapped for something else. Or the theory is that there's only 36 cars and there should be 43, and that some of these sponsors are like the 7 missing sponsors that never showed up in the film. But anyways, it was pretty cool to get a look at some of those like Easter eggs, I would say. But the shade of green is slightly different. Kyle, or Rowdy's, I guess, is a little bit more metallic. I think That looks a little bit more metallic to me, a bit more lighter. Take a look at the font. Obviously, the number changed from 86 to 18, but it's still white with the yellow outline. The font, though, is quite different. Obviously, they got rid of Hostile Takeover Bank. That's nowhere to be seen on the cars, just HTB now. But obviously, the contingency sponsors remain, although they did work them into the design. Instead of just being plastered with stickers all over, they did work the contingency sponsors into the design to make it actually look kind of clean and look pretty nice, I would say. And obviously, the HTB logo itself, though, aside from the removal of the Hostile Takeover Bank, still stayed kind of the same. Like I said, the balloons there do look a little bit cleaner. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Rowdy Revvin Busch. Do you like him or Chick better? Chick is obviously a classic, but I think Rowdy is very cool. And while I am kind of upset that it didn't make a Tacoman Next Gen, I really would have loved to see a Tacoman Next Gen. I think that would look fantastic. I do really like the HTB Kyle Busch, Rowdy Revvin Busch Next Gen. I think it looks great. It's a good kind of way to carry on Chick's legacy. Also kind of like that they have kind of the mustache grill there, kind of like Chick. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Rowdy Revvin Busch. Do you prefer him or Chick? Honestly, it's a tough. I really like Chick. He's a classic. You can't go wrong with the classics. But Rowdy, obviously, very cool. I think he's a good follow-up to Chick Hicks, I guess. A good sequel, if you may. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, let me know what you think of Rowdy Revvin Busch, and were you able to ever find him? I had to get him online, and honestly, eBay prices are kind of pretty expensive, but Walmart, for some reason, Walmart.com had him for a decent price. I've never seen Walmart have a decent price, especially from sellers that are not affiliated, like not Walmart itself, but sellers just selling through Walmart. Never really seen a great price for those, but this was not a price I could beat anywhere else. So had to pull the trigger. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.